This AI system will produce a competitive intelligence report for you every single week for any company you want to, that you can then go and sell for $297 or pounds to any organization that you want to. What it will do is track the changes of every single one of their competitors' websites. And the second that something changes, it will appear in this weekly report. We've also got analysis of all of the reviews of their competitors. What are the positives? What are the negatives? You can do so many things with this. We can do analysis of their competitors' social media profiles, whatever you want to. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can build a database, a table like this, of all an individual business's competitors, how we find out who those competitors are, how we actually get to scrape the entire website, and then compare that website with what it looks like in 7 days' time to see if there's any changes. We're going to look at all the reviews of their competitors in that period of time to see what is happening, what are the micro trends, the macro trends, all that beautiful stuff, so that you end up with a beautiful automated PDF that will be sent directly to the client on email, formatted however you want to, without you ever needing to touch any single buttons. And I'll show you exactly how you do this whole thing step by step. My name is Jack. My Skool community and my YouTube channel, we're about three things. We are about the latest AI. We're about incredible automations. But most importantly, we're about the stuff that actually works. So if you haven't already, grab that coffee and let's dive straight in. And as always, all the agents, the blueprints, the guides, as well as the entire system to build this sort of stuff is all available down below my Skool community. So all you ever need to do is come down here to more, click on import blueprint and select the file. Once you've chosen a file, hit save and the entire automation will populate automatically. And that includes all of the prompts and stuff that you need to make this work properly. But in any case, I'm going to show you exactly how you build this step by step so you can follow along and build something magical. Now, I want to show you briefly how this fully works, and I'll show you what the system looks like, because the whole idea of this automation is I wanted to create something where we could pretty much decide what would be really helpful for a business to know, and what if we just completely automated that so that they just get this incredible PDF. And I know, because I worked at one of the largest energy, in fact, the largest energy company in the UK, and we were paying a company like 10K at least a month, and all they were doing was giving us Google alerts for when this company appeared in the news. This takes it from that level to this level. We can look at anything. We can look at what's happening with every organization's competitor. What's happening on the websites. Are they now selling different products? You don't have to continually sit there all day learning at websites. We can analyze the social media posts, what's performing, what's not performing. And the purpose of this video, I wanted to give you a automated system that you could literally just build on the shoulders of, see what you like, add different things to it, and then just sell it to businesses for what I think is an incredibly reasonable price. So the way that this system works, and I'll show you the final bit here, is we have this, okay? This is like the brains of the operation. This is doing the checking. This is looking at this channel here, looks at the website copy to see if there's any changes. And this channel here looks at the reviews of all the competitors to see what's happening. And once that's fired off and updated something in Airtable, what then happens is this kicks in, okay? We grab the record from Airtable, we do some funky stuff with the array aggregators. Don't worry if that sounds complicated, I promise it'll make perfect sense. And then we convert this thing into HTML, and then basically we're going to transfer it into a PDF, and then automatically create a draft for you in your inbox. So all you ever do on a Monday morning, whatever that it is, you come in, you have a look at it, you make sure you're very comfortable with it, you hit send, and that's the entire competitive intelligence bit done. Now, I'm going to show you briefly what the output looks like, but then before that, I'm going to show you how you actually find out who the competitors are, and what a great way for you to do this to actually figure out who you should be sending information to and what that looks like. Because the table we've got the company, we've got their website, we've got reasons here. Why is this particular business a competitor to our desired business? Lots of stuff, and we can do this proactively if we wish. So here we've got an actual URL we can check out if we want to. So let's have a quick look at that. And by the way, in the community, it's all under Classroom. Every AI automation, you select the one, and all the blueprints are just there for you to download, just if you weren't sure where those were. Now, if I load the PDF up to see what it's developed, let's have a look. Competitive intelligence download, and there you go. It's got this company, nothing to update. AA, what have they changed? They've removed the word key workers from the footer section. Okay, that's interesting. Confused.com, what have they done? They've added, and it just gives you these little edges of things. Now, this may not by itself be something you think, oh, that's interesting about the website. But guys, the crucial bit I want you to understand about this automation is it's the lines that we can add as many of these things as you could possibly imagine. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, as many different competitive intelligence data points as you want to make this incredible. I just can't have this video being 20 hours long. Or maybe you want it. Maybe you want the 20-hour long video. Tell me down below, and because I could have spent a month with this automation. It's absolutely insane. And then we go down below. what's happening with our competitor reviews? Well, let's have a look. So overall, customer reviews across competitors in the industry reflect a predominantly positive sentiment with strong application for competitive pricing. And let's just see what are the positive things people are saying about the industry. Well, ease of use, the website's easy to navigate, people value good websites, comprehensive coverage. What's some of the stuff that they're disliking about your competitors? And again, we can even break this down by competitor if you wish. Again, this is all in the prompting. This is just to show you, like, hopefully you can see the light bulbs popping above your head. This is just to give you some ideas, okay? Unexpected charges, they don't want that. They don't want price increases, technical issues, poor response to emergencies, claims handling, blah, blah, blah. And then it actually goes on to give you actionable insights and additional insights about all the reviews that it's read. And you end up with this really gorgeous report that you can send out to your clients automatically. And even the nature and the formatting of this report itself is something that you can design in ChatGPT or Claude and then specify that in it. So hopefully you see just how epic this thing actually looks like. Now look, how am I going to show you this video? Okay, the first thing I'm going to show you is how do we find out who the competitors are? How do we get the websites? And once we've gotten that, we're then going to build out what I'd call the initial snapshot of the entire automation, which is we're going to download the homepage of all these businesses. Once we've done that, we're going to build this here, which will do the whole let's take a new snapshot of the business. And then we've got this bit here. We'll then look at actually the review analysis and all that beautiful stuff. So let's start off with then Perplexity. And I'm going to rebuild just as an example what I exactly did, okay? So when you have the industry, there's a concept called like the 97% rule, which is that like 97% of the time, your customers are not actually searching for the thing that they want. I say that to say you want to think about search intent. Like, what do they want? What are they after? So the way we're going to find competitors, now this isn't a perfect way. If you ask Perplexity just to say, tell me the competitive X, it does a really poor job. Let's think about this, okay? Let's say best candles, UK, cheap candles, high quality candles, okay? And then I'll just say avoid websites like Amazon. And then I hit enter, okay? And then Perplexity will now generate me a list of 10 companies that are kind of searching for those types of keywords. And I think this is kind of a better way of doing it because it looks like it hasn't actually gone through and do that. So I'll just give it the same prompt again. Okay, so I've just rewritten the prompt, we enter it, and then we get back in like this. And this is a much better way to do it because I played with Perplexity to try and get it to understand what competitors were with businesses that I know, and it did a really bad job of it. So actually, I think search term ranking, user intent is a good way of doing it. And we give it 3 different options so we can be better, better, more certain about what we're seeing. So what have we got? Courtney Townhouse, Etsy, Henrico Fragrance, Steam Wellbeing, blah, blah, blah. Let's just say replace 10 and 2 with something else. And then put this one, guys. Create a table then like this. Okay, so one is going to be company, website URL, Trustpilot URL, why they are a competitor for a UK candle shop. Then we hit enter. Now we're going to get this data initially. Now this takes a little bit of intelligence just to review and see what we're getting there, but it's a really quick, nice, easy hack to get and build up the list. And just like that, guys, we've got the full list of the companies. So Joe Malone, Candle King, the website URL, their Trustpilot URL, and why they're a competitor for your candle shop. So if you're in America, you don't need Trustpilot, you can do Google review pages. It's basically substitute it for the reviews that you like. In the UK at least, Trustpilot is a significantly popular one, so we're going to use that for this video. Now we've got Etsy, so I'm just going to say, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to omit Etsy for the purposes of the video. And then I'm going to say, awesome, paste these all as a list. Incredible. And then guys, we're just going to copy the list and then we're going to insert that into Airtable for our automation to begin. And I think you're going to find this very interesting. So let's have a look. We've got Joe Malone. So I'm going to add this to Airtable. So let's create a new Airtable like so. Awesome. Come down to create in the bottom left. Start from scratch. And we'll call this one Competitive Intelligence Build Together. Let's go for a little game emoji, and let's go for a lilac type of color. I think it's quite a delicate, nice one, okay? Now, guys, what kind of things do we want up there? So I'm just going to basically copy this so you don't have to, but we've got like name, website, the reason why they're a competitor, original file, don't worry about that for the moment. We're going to have changes made to that file. So basically, when this automation runs every week, it will then give us one of 2 outputs. Has something changed, in which case updates have been made, or no changes. And if there have been changes, we then basically say, great, well, what changes have been made? We've got the reviews. So this is the Trustpilot that we have. We've got review sentiment. So this is an analysis of those reviews. When we created it, when did we modify it? And you'll see why I include that everywhere, but we basically want to add the client industry, and the client email to every record. And so we're going to create columns with all this information. And just like that, guys, I've pasted all the information back into the Airtable. If you're part of the community, you can just grab the templates and roll with it. Not every company will always have reviews, and that's okay. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if 7 out of 10 competitors have a presence on a certain website, that's cool. Or we can just substitute it for a different website if we want to, like FIFA or Google Reviews. Or you can have multiple, it's completely your call. So if you can't find it with one data source, go to another. That's how we get really deep. Okay, and then what I want you to do is get the client name. And again, even this part of the process can be automated. But again, I didn't want to miss a 20-hour video. I want to give you the concept, and then we can build on more of these ideas. So let's pretend our company is called Candle King. Actually, it already exists. Oh my goodness, let's call us the Candle Emperor. Does that sound even cooler? I think so, right? And let's go for like a king. Actually, let's go for even bigger than that. Let's go for a rocket ship, because we are rocketing out of this planet with the strength of our candles. Cool. And then we're just gonna bring this all the way down. Beautiful. Okay, superb. And the industry, candles. In fact, actually, don't worry about client industry. The reason that exists, by the way, is I did another piece of automation that I decided to remove just to keep this simple, where we basically would do analysis on all the stuff that's happened in like the candle industry in the 7 days. And that is a really, really, really cool aspect and add-on you can do. You can see all the different areas that you can do with this. And then we're going to get the client email. So whoever your touch point is, we're going to add that into the client email section, and that will make sense later. Now, since we're doing candles, I'm just going to add a candle at the end of this, just so we're really clear on how candle licking good times this is. Should we actually do dynamite with that? I think that'd be even funny, actually. Let's do dynamite. Okay, beautiful, perfect. Now, guys, the first step is to get an Airtable to search the records to bring back basically every single competitor we have in the table. Now, the first line we're going to build is this one here, which is the website copy. What we're going to do is take a snapshot of the website. We're going to get all the HTML and the text, in other words, things that we can understand. And then we're going to use this prompt, which is going to compare the previous version with the new version. And then we're going to put what we found in the Airtable, okay? So let's begin with this. Of course, we need to call it. So I always find it easy to call it the same thing that we called our Airtable for simplicity's sake. And we're going to put that over here. And then we'll just call this one 1 out of 2. That sound pretty cool? Awesome. Okay, cool. So Airtable, right? We're going to look for, let's see which module we used. Okay, search records. So let's have a look. Search records. Let's find out. Okay, and I'm going to pick and select our base. There we go, beautiful. And then we're just going to select all the stuff as it comes down there. So come down to table 1. Okay, and let's bring back everything just because we can. And then for the limit, guys, you may as well just put 30 or whatever number it is, it's higher. And then we click OK. Let's run this one once. And look at that, all these beautiful bundles coming down. That's exactly what we'd like to see. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to click on this. We're going to go for a router, like so. Beautiful. And then we've got pathway 1 and pathway 2. So let's just quickly name these ones. For example, we'll call this one website copy. Beautiful. And then we'll call this one reviews. Again, you know, we're not filtering anything per se, but it's just there to be done. And then if you wanted to add other information there, like for example, scraping TikTok, which we would do easily with Appify, or Instagram for Appifying. It's like, you know, what are the posts that are getting the most likes and stuff? We can just add another one, and that would be on social, and so on and so on and so forth, to build this out for as many as you would actually like. So that's basically how that would all come together. So cool, auto align. And just like my last video, by the way, where I showed you different threads, that's kind of how I want to construct this. Cool. So first thing I want to do is download basically the websites, because the HTTP, you can go and get a file. Now, you can type in HTTPS : and do this. And then basically, we're going to go for the website. Now you see here it says, okay, where are we now? I think it's in notes, right, isn't it? That this is www. If you don't have the HTTPS, it won't actually physically download it, so click OK. That shouldn't really be on notes, actually. Why is that on notes? I guess it is. Okay, we'll just change that to website. It's basically the same thing anyway, right? So don't worry about that. Awesome. And then we're going to come here to HTML to text. Text parser. HTML to text. And then we're going to say, hey, I want you to set the website stuff. and then put that for me into English, the beautiful Queen's English that we can all understand. Then once we've done that, we're gonna go to ChatGPT. Let's go for create a completion. Max token is going to be 0. Model is going to be GPT-4o. Add a message. Now look, here's the prompt. This is the really cool one. All right. And of course, we're going to call this one competitive intelligence. Okay, so here's the prompt. You're provided with 2 versions of text from a website. The original file from 7 days ago and the current version from today. Your objective is to compare the previous version and the current version text and produce a JSON object with exactly 2 fields. Changes indicate whether updates have been made. If meaningful differences are found between the 2 texts, set this as updates have been made. If there's nothing identical content, just say no changes have been made. And then we say stuff like, provide details based on comparison. If nothing's been changed, this is what you should say. And then we ask it, basically give it more context about how we want it to compare both pages. So we're asking it things like ignore superficial changes, which is something added in because it would sometimes when you render a website, blue pops up instead of red and it doesn't really matter. So we're saying, look, if it's superficial, ignore it. We don't need to hear about it. For example, do not consider changes in the order of logos, images, or lists unless it conveys some specific meaning. Do not include or assume any external information. And then give it some information in terms of JSON formatting. And then we just give it loads of cool stuff. Emoji for usages. So this is how we want it to talk about things. So we've given it a bit of a code so we'll be consistent for our clients. So new additional changes, notification edits, deletions, announcements, report updates, and reorganizations that after me. And by the way, guys, when you automate this, there's no reason why you wouldn't have this. Think about it. There's no reason why you just wouldn't have this running for any business in the background. If I get a report that's told me all this stuff, that's insanely valuable, right? I don't have to go link at the website. It's just there. It's available. It's absolutely insane. Validation, ensure it's all formatted, and then we tell it how I want to do it. So I'm going to copy all this text. Let's come down here, come to message content. Boom, beautiful. We just need to add one further column here, okay? And we're just going to add a website copy, okay? Oh, in fact, what we'll do, we'll just change this one. Okay, perfect. Come over to status. Oops, come off here. All right, come here. All right, website copy. Beautiful, and we're just going to change that to long text and then click OK. Okay, beautiful. Now we're going to come back over to our scenario. I'm just going to click OK for the time being. I'm just click role as user so we can forget about that. I'm going to click on the Airtable. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click on website copy and then click OK. And then we're just going to run this module only. Okay, beautiful. All right, sweet. So let me open a new ChatGPT so we can load, unless this will allow me to do so. Sometimes it misbehaves a little bit. So let's have a look. Yeah, website copy that. Perfect. All right, sweet. So let me just come over here so you can get a good look of what is happening. So the bits we're going to give it is the previous version from 7 days ago, okay, which is the website copy, which you can now see down here. And then the current version of what it's like today, okay? And that is quite simply going to be the output from the text parser. And then we click OK like that. And now we're just going to rename this one competitive intelligence for website. And of course, no website is complete without a laptop of sorts. And then we click OK. And then what I'd want you to do on that is click on Airtable. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. The way that I've set this up is I've said, look, when you've made the comparison, we don't really need an archive of every week. So it's just easy if we just update this field. So on a Monday, the 1st of April, it's X. But then when we run it again on the 8th of April, just make that field the latest. So what I'm actually doing is comparing it, but then when the comparison's done, I'm just updating it with whatever the latest version is. So we don't create these archives because quite frankly, we don't need it. And I just think it makes it easier. So here we're going to click on update a record. Okay, now check this out. I'm going on to base. Our base is called what? Competitive intelligence. All right, sweet. Let's come back over. Beautiful. The table is table 1. Okay, record ID. What is the record ID? Well, the record ID is provided to us by the first Airtable. Which you see right there, cool. And now we can just start to do loads of really cool stuff. So check this out. We've got the name, which we don't need to worry about because that's already fine. But if I come down to website copy, I want that basically to be the result from text parser. So in other words, the thing that you just scraped, that is the website copy, okay? And now we've got changes and changes made. Now, in order to get that, we need to kind of run this once. We need to run it twice, actually. so we can get the JSON so we can then put it into the Airtable. So check this out. We're going to run this one once. Now, the first time this happens, this is going to give us a dummy answer because we've got no information in the Airtable yet. Do you see what I'm saying? So it won't actually be able to give us any information in detail. So I did a step before where we got the initial copy, but we don't really need that because we could just run this twice, once for a dummy run and the second time for something that will actually make perfect sense. So let's run the background and then we can add those records into Airtable. Okay guys, now that's run, I'm gonna give you two very quick things that you may run into error-wise. Okay, first of all, when I said do 30, don't do 30. Do as many as there are. So if there's 10, write 10. And the second thing is that if you have more lines than you need to, basically what Airtable will do sometimes is they'll think it's a row to bring, so cap it off at 10. Just make sure it's capped off at 10. So if it's any more than that, just like, let's say you had 11, it was empty, select 11, right click, delete it, just to make sure your scenario doesn't break or stop working. Now we've done this, and guys, I've just deleted the Airtable module, saved it and refreshed it. Now check this out, if I run this once, I want to show you the output that we get from ChatGPT, okay? So check this out, that's completed. Now look, because we asked it to specify in JSON, check out what we get. I come down to operation 2, I get two things, right? I come down to choices, result, changes, no changes, detail, nothing to update. So I'm gonna come back over now, add an Airtable one more time. I'm gonna click on update to record. Again, I'm gonna find this one again for competitive intelligence. There we go, beautiful. Phenomenal. I'm on table 1. Give it a second. Record ID is going to be, let me bring it here so you can get a good, beautiful look at it. Record ID is going to be this record ID. Name, don't worry about. Website copy is just now going to be the output we get from the text parser. Changes is going to be, as you can see, changes is no changes, and the detail is nothing to update. Whereas if that had been a week's time, we'd probably get some really interesting details. Then we click OK. Wonderful. Now we just need to run this one once all the way through to get all the copy updated into our beautiful Airtable, and you can see it'll start to actually load there for us, which is really cool. No changes, nothing to update. How cool is this, guys? And that'll just run for you automatically in the background, 24/7, which I think is pretty cool. All right, sweet. So let's go back over now to our wonderful automation. And that's going to finish in a moment. Excellent. And now that part of the automation is complete. And now we can track website change to see what we want to. And obviously, guys, with this intelligence thing here, you can slide up and slide down the things that you think are important. So you can be really specific on changes that you don't want to include, changes that you do want to include. You could be more affirmative to say, only tell me if A, B, C, D, E, F, G has changed. So play around with that. Play around with the prompt that you get and decide what you want to get the right results for the businesses that you're looking after. Now, the next thing that we're going to take a quick look at here is the second one, which is reviews. Now, we're going to basically grab the Trustpilot links or whatever your review of choice is. Could be Google reviews, could be anything. And obviously, we've got so many ways to grab that information. We're going to pass that into text, and then we're going to use this Trustpilot analysis thing. And then we're going to, once again, add that into Airtable, and then we do the final part of the automation. So I'll show you what the prompt is, and then we'll build this one together. So check this out. Okay, your task overview. You'll be provided with approximately 20 reviews for a competitor. Obviously, change that for whatever we like. Your instruction is to analyze reviews, overall sentiment, determine the sentiment, identify key strengths, common complaints, customer expectations and unmet needs. We talk about sentiment, key strengths, common complaints, blah, blah, blah. We give it an example output that we want there. We talk about different things that it may pick up on, and then we give it the reviews. So simply what we're going to do, guys, is we're just going to click on this guy. I'm going to copy all that stuff. And we basically just repeat the same process for the second one, okay? So we do HTTP get a file like so, except for this time, the URL is quite simply what we listed as where the reviews for that particular business are. So let's have a quick look at where we put that down. UK Trustpilot. Beautiful. Once again, as you might have guessed, we're going to do the text parser. Okay, beautiful. We're going to do HTML to text. Fantastic. And we grab this from the data. Superb. And then we're going to add in fact, sometimes what's really cool to do is just like duplicate. If you already got an existing ChatGPT module, you don't need to do all the button presses again. Let's just copy them, paste them, bring them down, and then let's actually just change the prompt that we've got for whatever you want. We come down, and that is that the correct one? No, that's all beautiful HTML. So let's come back over and we'll get the prompt real quick. Trustpilot analysis. Trustpilot is quite big in the UK. Actually, weirdly enough, if you want to be on Trustpilot and use a logo and stuff, you've got to pay like, it's like £1,000-ish a month or something crazy just to have their logo. But businesses do it because reviews matter, and they want to have that, like, you know, the we're legit aspects to their business. It's about social proof. Social proof sells. That's just the bottom line of it. Okay, we've got that. That's all beautiful. I like that. Then we click OK. And then all we do here, guys, is add another Airtable update record. Funny, Alex Hormozi did a really interesting study on his top 50 performing ads out of the thousands he had. And he found the top 80% of them, what they all had in common was proof. 40 out of 50 were basically just giving proof and examples that it delivers the thing that they said. So with this, one of the things that you'd be able to do is show how other businesses you've worked with have used these insights. It's like this crazy insight at your fingertips. So again, I'm going to pick on the ID that we've got here. And all we're doing here then for reviews is quite simply, we're just going to replace whatever is in the latest review section. So we come down and this is going to be, let's have a quick look, this guy. Awesome. And then let's just change this one just so we don't get too confused about what we're looking at. And we'll call this one Trustpilot reviews. And you know what, guys, we'll give it some stars. We'll give it some beautiful stars. We want to find out the positive. And actually, one of the key things to bear in mind with all this stuff, so I'm going to run this again from the top, is that when you think of data, it isn't just, is it interesting? Okay, so this has not come through and worked properly. Let's find out exactly why that's happened. Let's see, the operation failed because must contain the word JSON in some form to use response format of type. Okay. My apologies. Because I duplicated it. Text is fine. Cool. Rerun it. Rerun from the top. Oh my goodness. So data. The reason why you want to be really particular about what you include is like, if that data point wouldn't change your decision, don't include it, which is why you want to be ruthless about the stuff that you actually physically have here. Like, for example, does knowing all of what your customers hate saying about your industry helpful? Yeah, that's super helpful, right? But knowing like, yeah, I don't know, like some random metric on views may not be as helpful to make informed decisions about what you need to do progressively to take it to the next step. And just a quick update on this one, guys, instead of reviews, put it into review sentiment, because that is exactly where we had it before. Just a little update, because I got the names a little bit mixed up there, but you just want to make sure it's not overwriting the actual Trustpilot or Google review link. So I'll run this one again, and then we can proceed forward. And just like, guys, the reviews have been updated. So if we head over to our beautiful table, and I pick a random one out, let's pick this one as a for instance, and let's have a quick look at what we've got. Let's just see what Candle King's going on. All right, sweet. So let's go see what it's got. Let's see, 90 reviews, 5 positive, 2 neutral, 12 negative. Poor customer service, poor product quality issues, slow and ineffectual online support, order and delivery problems, overpriced products and workshops. Okay, some room for improvement there. Let's check out another one. Let's check out Neon. Let's see what they've done. What is the latest and greatest with Neon as we come down now to their reviews. Again, if we check out Neon, we've got customer expectations, unmet needs, poor customer service response, delivery issues, product issues, complaints about faulty products such as diffusers that stop working. That's good information to have, right? And again, where does this become powerful? This becomes powerful in your ability to really tease out the specifics for the client, and then you get more and more bespoke about what is it you want to know. And you can imagine sitting down with somebody and actually going through this, how valuable that actually physically would be. Now we've got the automation running for the website copy, the automation running for the reviews. We can then add in social media analysis and whatever any chains that you'd like to. We then go on to the final part of the automation, which is this. So how does this work? Well, we're going to search the records, we're going to pass them out, and then we're going to do some website analysis. So basically what will happen is we'll get all these bundles that come out together, but we don't want to run this automation 20 times. We want to run it once. So we're going to use an array aggregator, which is again is going to pull these into bundles. And then we've got this beautiful iterator that will take and put all this fantastic stuff here together for us. So let's go and build this one together. So here we go. Come down here, click on Airtable. We're going to look for search records like so. Give this a moment. It's going to load up for us nicely. Base is we're going to select our Airtable base like so. Table is table 1. Don't worry about the formula. The limit we're going to put is 10. How many do we have on there? 10. All right, pretty sweet. And then what do we want? Let's just bring all of the information down for us. Don't worry about the formula. And then we click OK. Now let's add in our next module, which is, if we just come back over to our thing, we can see here, we're going to search records and array aggregator. Okay, cool. So let's get an array aggregator. Okay, beautiful. Now we've got the array aggregator open. We're just going to select all the stuff that we want. That's beautiful. Let's run this one once. That's okay. It should give us the same thing. And now we've got that, guys. We're going to add an iterator. So we're going to come here. Let's go for iterator. And then we can pick the array, and if I click on this one here, can you see how it's now got all the possible information that we want that we can pull out piece by piece? And then for this iterator, guys, we're going to call this one website analysis. Okay. like so. We'll obviously put a little laptop on there. Now, the reason why, you may be thinking, why can an iterator be website analysis? It's because the analysis has already happened in the Airtable in our previous module. So all this is now doing is bringing all of that information down for us to access. The iterator is not doing any analysis. All that's doing is bringing all the stuff together for us. So I call this website analysis. I click on it. And what's information that we need to know? We need to know the name of the company. Okay. And we need to know, basically, have there been any changes? Yes or no? And all we do, guys, is we just come down like so. We copy, we go down, we do this again, and we keep on basically repeating this for as many as we have. So come down, we come up, and then instead of 1, 1, it's 2, 2. Oops, not 2, 3. Simply 2, 2. Cool. And I guess what this will then enable us to do is have all of this information together in one single text field that we can then give to an AI to then create some beautiful, sexalicious HTML that can then go into a nice PDF for us that we can then send to the client, and the client can then say, hey, this PDF looks amazing. Thank you so much for building it for us. And 10 perfectly. How cool is that? And then we click OK. Let's check this out. I'm going to run this one more time. If it's done its job properly, we should have one single output with all that information together. And let's have a good look. We do. How great is that? That's pretty cool, right? We like that. We think that's awesome. Now, I want to do a different kind of iteration. So come back here and add another iterator, like so. And the second iterator is going to be for review sentiment. So let's have a look now. We come back to flow control rate aggregator, and it's going to be the review that we get, review sentiment. And guys, you know what? You may have guessed it. We do the same thing again. Okay, come down like this. Cool. And then we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. I like that. I think that's very, very cool. And then once we've got the 10 guys, we're going to click OK. And then the next thing we want to do is basically get an AI to basically analyze the reviews for us, to give us some intelligence on it. So I'll come up to here and click on create a completion, like so. Let me show you the prompt that we're going to give it. So your task is to analyze aggregated customer reviews from multiple competitors in our industry. Your goal is to identify and list 10 positive aspects, 10 negative aspects with corresponding customer quotes. So I want it to give us quotes so we can say, not only are they not liking this, this is the voice of the customer, this is what they're saying. We want a concise 80-word summary at the top using specific examples, instructions, provide an 80-word summary, list 10 positive aspects mentioned in reviews. Then I just basically say, this is how I want it to look. I want it to look like this. Customer favorites, what all the things they liked. Negatives, what all the things that they didn't like. What are actionable insights that we can take based on that? But don't give me a quota, like if there's only 6, give me 6. If there's 2, give me 2. I don't need to hit 1 billion of them. And then just additional insights, just giving the AI scope and room to think about, maybe there's market stuff going on that it's seeing that you just don't get. We want a room for it to be able to do that. And then we give it some output guidelines, and then we give it all the value from the previous module. So we're going to copy this prompt, or if we upload it, it'll just be there. And let's come over. The model is going to be GPT-4o. Beautiful. Add message. Role is user message content, except for in our case, it's going to be the output from, where are we right now? This flow control. Can you see it's pulsing on the left? Perfect. Okay. And then we click OK, like so. I think now let's click OK. Max tokens, put 0 so it defaults at the maximum. And of course, we'll name this one here. We'll call this one review analysis. And you know, guys, should we go for the stars again? Let's go for the stars. I'm seeing stars tonight. I'm seeing all the stars. Beautiful. And then I'm just going to rename this one as well to be like review iterator, just so we don't get confused. Beautiful. Okay, this is looking excellent now. Now, the final part of this automation is this HTML converter, which takes all that data, turns it into HTML, and then we're going to put it in the PDF, and then it's going to go to the email. So let's check out the HTML converter. So basically, now guys, what I'd recommend you do is head over to Claude and give it some dummy data and ask it to design for you the perfect PDF. What's the font? What are your brand colors? Do you want your logo in? I've just said, look, using Avenir font, please combine both pieces of HTML text together below into one HTML document. Write it as HTML and make the formatting gorgeous and excellent. I like using these words, gorgeous, excellent. Give it some different bits like that. This is what the title is. This is the competitor website changes. And here are competitor reviews. What you could do, in fact, what I might recommend that you do is give it an example PDF. So if you create the perfect HTML in Claude, for example, you can then just like say, hey, use this as a baseline, and that will help you get something very, very consistent. So look, I come over, we've got review analysis. What we're going to do, I'm just going to clone this for simplicity's sake. We're going to call this one, let's right click, let's rename this one. We'll call this one HTML creator. And if it's a HTML creator, which it does not want me to call it apparently. Okay, HTML creator. Let's give it a diamond. As a reflection of the level of its value. Cool, let me come into content. Obviously, if you upload this, it will be automatically. Competitor website changes, where are we getting that from? Let's have a look. That is from website analysis. Beautiful. Then competitor reviews is just simply going to be the output of the review iterator. And then we come down and then we click OK. And the next one we're going to do, guys, is then we're going to turn this into PDF, okay? So go into pdf.co. If you haven't got that, pdf.co, they give you 10,000 credits for free. You simply get an API key, you bring it back over and you're done. I covered that on my last video, so you can follow that step by step if you've not used PDF before, but it's actually quite straightforward. It's a really cool piece of software. It was a suggestion from someone in my community who wanted to see PDFs. That's why we're talking about them. We do HTML, convert HTML to PDF. That opens so many doors. You give me any HTML, I'll get you an amazing PDF that you can access. How great is that? So the convert type is HTML to PDF. You can do template to PDF as well. I can do that in another video. It's very, very cool. Input HTML code is from the HTML creator. The file name, this is where we need to run the beautiful Airtable. So let me just pause this for a moment. I'm going to come over. I'm going to run this module once. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to come back down here. Let's give this a second. Actually, okay, so the reason why, have you noticed, on the left, you cannot actually see the data that came from Airtable. There's a funny quirk in this, where like if it's part of an array aggregator, it won't let you access the data, which is why I doubled up these Airtables in the previous one here, which looks a little redundant, but that's why. It means that we can access it. So look, if I run this module only, check this out. Okay, now I get the outputs, okay? So then let's call the file name something unique. So why don't we call the output file name something like the client name, which is why I asked you to add loads of different versions of it. So we've got the client name there. Client is Candle Emperor. And then in brackets, we'll put the created date of the last modified time, which is right there. Beautiful, perfect. Close that one up. We've got the input code there. That's decent. We can have margins that we overload. It's really, really cool, actually. Then we click OK. Then we're going to add Gmail. So basically, this is all going to say for us as a draft. So come down and create draft. Now, check this out. You're going to absolutely love this. If I show you, check this out on the email draft that I made. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to come over to HTML viewer. You see this? I built this in Claude. I basically built this in Claude. I just said, like, make it like this, make it like that. And look at this, guys. You can see right there how good the formatting is. So you can just use these in HTML, just so sick. It's like, that's why these AI models are ridiculous. So content, please read the report attached to as convenience. And then for the subject, let's go with what did I have on the last one that I created just for convenience. Client's first name, competitive intelligence report. And obviously we need to just add that in. So let's get the client's first name. I'm going to come down to Candle Emperor's competitive intelligence report. We've got that. And then we're going to go to add attachment at the bottom. And when you look at that, guys, immediately it will just grab the attachment from the PDF code. Fantastic. And then we need to select the recipient. The recipient email address is, of course, where are we now? I'm going to come down to client email, which is fantastic. And you can see you make many of these tables. Very, very cool. Makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of really cool stuff. And then what do? We need to pick the folder that we're going to save it in, if it hasn't done so already. It needs to verify the connection. So I'll do that and then we'll continue. Now verified, I can finally pick the folder. So we come down and we're going to put that for drafts, like so. Give that a beautiful second to load up. Drafts, excellent. Then we click OK. And now, guys, we are effectively ready to run this entire automation. So I'm going to hit run once. I'm going to see the whole thing unfold before our eyes. Airtable's grabbed it and immediately is kicked off and said, hey, it's not worked. I've not seen this update before. You've exceeded your current quota. Please check your plan and billing details. For more information on this error, please read the docs. I think I have used too much OpenAI today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly substitute this for Claude, but in your case, you won't need to do that. Okay, guys, once again, the world makes sense. We have now added in this. Oh, okay, wait, I need to also change this quick reference. How funny is that? This is crazy. Like ChatGPT says, you know, guys, you're making too many deals. We don't like the level of deals that you're making, okay? Input HTML creator there. Is there anything else? I think that's literally all of it. Okay, cool. Now we're done. Now we can run this one again with Claude. Obviously, ChatGPT will be fine for you. But did OpenAI aren't liking my level of deals we're making? We're making way too much progress, way too much dollar signs with this. We're doing a review analysis, comparing all the reviews that we got. Let's check out the review page for it, what we're looking at here. Let's look at all these reviews that we've got. Check this out. Insane amounts of data. Insane amounts of data. The value of this, guys, is the system. It's the ability to know what you're looking at and how you're going to present it. And you can you can make the magic of this by how you structure your prompts for your clients. And here's a kicker, right? Is that you can actually give this to businesses for free. It is not that expensive to run. It's very cheap to run. You give it to businesses for free. You give them every single week. They become to rely on it. They like decisions on it and say, hey, I'm going to give you this free for 3 months or a month or however long you want. And then if they want to continue, it's like X per month. Like if you're struggling for clients, isn't that an incredible way to get them? You could just literally give this away to businesses as a way of just adding the value. And if you're good at it, and you're adding the right value and solving that problem sets, dude, they're not going to want to stop seeing this. Now, the PDF thing is complete. So we come down here, we've got the URL. So the only thing left to do now, guys, is to open this in a new tab and see what we've created. So let's check it out. It's giving me the websites, updates if it's seen them, competitor reviews, key strengths, out of 19 reviews, 5 positive, 2 neutral, 12 negative, for overall sentiment, key strengths, common complaints, customer expectations, and unmet needs, blah, blah, blah. And one final quick tip, guys, on the first search records Airtable, just make sure you set the limit to be 1 and not 10. Otherwise, it may run a couple of times. And actually, if I check down the draft folders, you can see I've got the competitive intelligence update. Hopes it finds as well with the full link. We can click on that. We get the PDF. We can download it. And then the clients are happy. And I hope you can see the potential and the applications of creating something as epic as this, because you can add as many features as you want to. But in any case, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video.